What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tears for Fears, and we're returning for another live performance from the double disc release Songs for a Nervous Planet, though I did want to mention, I like the idea after maybe one or two more of these, jumping to some of the bonus material I've yet to react to. Kim and I were talking about the acoustic version of Break It Down Again, and she did mention there's some other goodies waiting in the same folder. Yes, hello, Luca. Here would be a good idea. Not knocking things over as you seem to be inclined to. But yes, I felt like we should listen to Change. I very much enjoy this tune. I did react to the music video a while back if folks hadn't seen that. And yeah, I think it's a very compelling tune in their catalog. And I put it on the same level as some of my favorites, which is to say like Pale Shelter and Shout. So yes, let's give it a listen. This is Change by Tears for Fears as performed on the tour for The Tipping Point and included in the live tracks on Songs for a Nervous Planet 2024.
Just had to know the face you wore was cool. You were a photograph when it's all too late. It's all too late. I do not have the time. I do not have the love to ask you how you feel. Is this what you deserve when it's all too late? It's all too late. Change. You can change. Change. You can change. And something on your mind became a point of view. I lost your honesty. You lost the life in you. And it's all too late. It's all too late. We walk and talk in time. I walk and talk in two. Where does the end of me become the start of you? When it's all too late. It's all too late. Change. You can change. Change. You can change. What has happened to the friend that I once knew? Has he got away?
That's awesome. I do love the song, and I feel like a couple details, including a melody line that we heard right at the end of the tune as well as much earlier, I feel like that was updated or slightly reconfigured for this performance relative to the album track, which, would clearly make sense. It's been a while, and ultimately, some of the bands I listen to, like Duran, at a lot of their concerts over the years, they always like readjust and reconfigure a lot of their famous tunes, which I suppose there's a double-edged sword there. It always gives something fresh and dynamic for audiences, though if there are people there just, waiting to hear this song exactly as they know it from the album, it might be a mixed bag, or it might be hit or miss. But yeah, by and large, it's like the studio tune, but again, I think there's a couple elements in there that maybe have a slightly different configuration. I love that energetic electric interlude. That may be my favorite part. But yeah, I just enjoy the melody, the intensity, and the message of the tune, which again, it speaks to a falling apart or a perception that, there's a difference between, this friend, the way they were before and the way they were now, but also this idea that, that means people aren't static. That means people can change deliberately and for the better as well. So yeah, I think it's a really compelling performance. Again, the vocals sounding as close to the original as you could possibly hope for, which, as I've said on multiple other reactions, I think from these live tunes from the Tipping Point tour, it's a testament to their vocal skill and craft even after so many years, because some other groups I listen to, you can hear more of a difference, which, there's nothing wrong with that, and you can still, faithfully convey the intensity or emotion of a tune even if your voice has changed. But the vocals from Kurt and Roland feel like they're, surprisingly close to their vocals from multiple decades previous. So I think that is a very impressive feat. In any case, looking forward to doing a couple more from these live performances, and then, as I said, I'll jump to some of that bonus material that Kim and I were talking about on the previous reaction. So, in any case, let me know what you think, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.